gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azir Madhani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondy.
Good to be here, boys.
And the golden-throated Tony O.
You came prepared this week.
Golden-throated. Yes, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony. We heard you vocalizing, singing, crooning in the warm-ups, and I'm demanding that you sing on the podcast now.
We'll see what happens. I used to be in the choir many years ago.
Excuse me.
Wait, no way, Tony. Me too.
No.
Yeah.
What?
So much musical talent on this podcast.
Am I the only one on this podcast without a musical history or talent?
I bet you have a great voice, though.
You've heard me sing. You've heard me sing on this. It's not good.
You just need United to, play games and win more, and then maybe that vote. Like, look at Tony now. Like, Arsenal's winning. He's singing for us now with these chants. You just need some more wins in your club.
Tony, you need to share your beautiful choral voice with the listeners, not just with Tommy and myself.
All right, give me a second. Testing. Do re mi fa sol la ti.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it, la 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 like it, la 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 like, here we go. Martinelli Sackers be throw. How was that?
Well done, Tony.
I'm honestly, we can end the podcast right now. I'm happy with our week's work. I don't need anything else out of this.
I'm just in that mood. I was singing that song throughout yesterday. It feels so good to be happy, honestly. Yeah.
You were singing it throughout our pre-podcast production meeting as well.
Yeah. It's been a good week after a pretty down week. Last week, it feels nice to be filled with songs.
This is what happens when your team is actually playing games.
Yeah.
It feels like it's only been a week since I watched Man United play, but it feels like it's been forever.
You could argue that you've been in better spirits because you've not been watching United play.
Yeah.
There's a strong chance.
On one hand, yes, but on the other hand, I also miss being incredibly upset with my football team.
Okay. Fair point.
Hey,
it feels that it's just become a staple part of my weekends.
Yeah.
No, it's like waking up in the morning and not having my morning coffee. It's just something feels off.
Yeah.
So it's better to drink bad coffee than no coffee at all.
Yeah, drink
unless
Tim
that
Hortons.
bad coffee is from Tim Hortons.
Just go Tim Hortons.
No.
Yeah. I'm still batting for Tim Hortons. I want to get that sponsorship. So. Anyway,
you bat away. Their Brazilian parent company will not be listening to you.
You can be like us and see a title challenge slowly slip away. I'd rather Chelsea's game's been postponed than to see that happen. But I know we ain't gonna jump into that right away. There was a better game that happened on the weekend that we should jump into first. That's for sure.
You want to switch things around there and dive right into that?
No, we shouldn't.
I do want to switch things around and dive right into that. I'm sorry, Spurs Liverpool. You had one of the most fun games of the season to watch, but Tommy has insisted that we start with the thriller that was Wolves 0, Chelsea 0. Tommy, I'd also like to point out that in midweek, Chelsea managed to drop points to Everton.
Let's point that out too, yeah.
Who would drop points to Everton? Jesus.
Can we talk about Rafa Benitez's personal vendetta against this podcast?
Yeah, we keep giving him shit every week on this pod, and he's just throwing it right back in our faces. I can't remember what the United game was.
It was a 1-1 draw. I remember Andros Townsend scoring the equalizer and then doing the Ronaldo celebration.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That
I do remember
brilliant.
that now. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember
it was pretty good.
I remember Demarai Gray just bodying Fred twice in the build-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before Michael Carrick unlocked Fred.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
box midfield sensation.
Michael Carrick has also,
do you remember that goal against Palace?
No, Michael Carrick didn't destroy you. Jadon Sancho destroyed you.
Yeah, they've both cursed us ever since then. We've been on a downward spiral.
Ever since Sancho had that little shimmy when he was through 1-on-1 with Mendy, Chelsea haven't been the same.
Yeah,
shaken.
Mendy hasn't looked as solid either. Yeah. What has he done to us?
Yeah.
He's mesmerized by Sancho's hips. But yeah, since then Chelsea have been dropping points at an alarming rate. And they're now 6 points off the top.
Yeah, I mean, a part of it is, of course, we've had Lukaku and Werner out injured. We've had some injuries piling up, but you don't want to use that as an excuse because Chelsea have a big squad and these games you should be winning. Like United, you got to win that game. Everton, how do you drop points to Everton? I don't know. We barely beat Watford, where we should have probably lost that game. And then
you needed 2 dodgy penalties to beat Leeds.
Against Leeds as well. It's just we're not.
And then you dropped that game to West Ham where Mendy had those howlers.
The Masuaka crazy shots.
Masuaka, Jesus Christ!
I thought you were going to sing there for a second. Some Masuaka song.
Who is Masuaka? You're saying it again.
Tommy attempting to say and spell players and managers' names this weekend. Has been
I've got
a nightmare.
Ragnar
He spent the entire
time.
weekend trying to spell Ralph Rangnick's name.
And you just
he keeps calling him Ralph Ragnarok.
I just said it wrong again. What is it, Ralph Ragnick? Is that it?
Rangnick.
Okay, I just called him Ragnick.
It's not. It's said exactly how it's spelled.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ, Tommy.
What a difficult name to pronounce, to be honest.
Polish as well.
Yeah, that guy's not Polish. So
I'm not saying he's Polish, but I'm saying you can perfectly pronounce Błaszczykowski.
Yeah, Błaszczykowski. Come on, it's so simple, right?
Okay.
Anyhow, we go back to Chelsea's woes here. I mean, attacking wise, I think this is what you get for relying on your defense to score all your goals. When Reece James, he had a chance in that Wolves game where he probably should have scored early on, but
he was offside,
tried.
No?
Was he offside?
Hang on. You're telling me that Antonio Rudiger is not good for 2 penalties a game?
He's usually good for one outside the box shot that hits the crossbar, comes really close. But
wow, this is desperate stuff.
But we're desperate.
It's a very specific thing to be consistent.
But
with.
When you don't have your defenders scoring for you, your attackers are either injured or nothing's clicking up top. This game against Everton midweek, I think we had 25 shots, maybe 10 or 12 on target, 5% possession. That game, we should have won.
85% possession.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was super
what
high.
What the
fuck? I'm not kidding. It was crazy. And we don't get the win.
Even City don't have the ball that much.
Yeah, it was 80. Yeah. Yeah, it was 81. But
81,
definitely, at some point, it was 93% possession. It's just wow, what is going on? Yeah. But to be frank, you should have still won that game. That's
You mean the Wolves one or the Everton?
No, the Everton one.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah,
that's the kind of game where you've not played well. Okay, we get it. You take the lead, and was it Saul Nunez who just switched off on the set piece? God.
Guys, tell me, please. I think I asked this in a chat somewhere. I'm like, Saul was a good player once, right? Because he's coming to Chelsea. He does not look like a professional footballer.
So a lot of athletic players have a history of just not being able to perform without Simeone. So I don't know. He definitely was a super player 3 or 4 years ago, but he's finding life in the Premier League a bit tough.
Yeah, we've played him at center mid at the start, and he's been atrocious, and now he's playing wing back. For us,
if you're playing him at wing back, he's.
Has he ever played wing back before?
I think that's why he left Athletic, because Simeone was playing him at wing back too much, and he's like, well, fuck it, I'm a midfielder.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Yeah. No, I mean, considering this game, we played Shalaba at midfield with Conte because we had like Jorginho was out, Kovacic was. He played this game. Kovacic. He came on. He actually looked pretty good, but he can't start just yet. He's just been back in training. So Shalaba had to start.
I think Chelsea got pretty lucky in this game. If Jimenez had the presence of mind to just leave that chance, I mean, it's a tap in for. I'm not sure who was on the far end that scored. Might have been.
I think it was Podence. Yeah.
Yeah, but and also Conte. I mean, that's a red card for me. I don't care. I don't know what the ref sees or what VAR sees, but he's leaning in with his chest. He completely misses it and handles the ball. I mean, if a goalkeeper is doing that, he's getting sent off.
He's a lucky boy. Yeah.
Look, at this point, I'm just convinced VAR doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
There's no VAR room.
It's just an empty...
There's nothing actually there.
Yeah.
We don't hear anything from them. Like, we have no way of verifying if they actually check anything or if, I think...
Do you guys remember
It's a hunch. It's a hunch.
Do you remember that... did you guys ever see that meme or that vid where...
I love when we explain memes on the podcast.
Yeah, remember
the
last time
I left that. I switched to it. Yeah, they basically had footage of VAR. I think it was Real Madrid in a game, and the studio or the room was empty. It just screens everywhere. There wasn't actually anyone watching it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's kind of hard.
I mean, like if you look at refereeing in the Premier League, not just this week, most weeks, that's what it kind of feels like. So
yeah, but
I just like a couple of last points on this game. I know Chelsea were lacking creative, but Wolves are really solid defensively. They didn't really give us too much. I think we had one solid chance with Pulisic. He had a great run after a pass from Alonso, and it was a big save from the keeper. He should have scored. You're right. But Wolves, I think they've been great defensively all season. I think they conceded 14 goals, which
really?
It's pretty darn good. Yeah. So yeah, Wolves. Hats off to Wolves. We're slipping out of title race. 6 points back, like you guys mentioned. I mean Chelsea, not Wolves. But you know what? Come January, we could be out of it. So not looking good. We need some players back, and then we need those players to start hitting the back of the net.
Before we move on, how many players does Chelsea have out with COVID?
Well, I know you have Lukaku, Werner, you have Chilwell, but he's obviously injured. You had Jorginho, Hudson-Odoi.
There has got to be a cutoff.
That's the thing. Like, Tuchel was really upset post-game because they asked for this game to be postponed, similar to how the Aston Villa-Burnley game was postponed very last minute. Yeah. And apparently the Premier League was like, no, you guys have enough to field a squad. For comparison, the two United games that got postponed against Brentford midweek, they would have had 7 available players. And for the weekend, they would have had 9 available players. So that seems to be like, oh, you genuinely can't put together a starting 11 and a bench. That's the only way to get it postponed, which is ridiculous.
It's a poor look. It's just a really poor look. It's about the health of the players, as well as, like, they're just concerned about the fixture schedule, which I get it. It has to be quite a consideration, but yeah, I'm seeing Pulisic starting midweek. I'm like, what is going on? I don't know. It doesn't feel fair. Like, this Premier League season, it doesn't feel like
that seems pretty harsh on Pulisic. I mean,
it's not fair that Chelsea have to start Pulisic.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's not a striker. I mean,
Tony's anti-American bias coming out again.
I am Canadian, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
We wouldn't complain if it was Alphonso Davies starting in midweek. We're just saying.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next game. Yeah.
I mean, this is the game we should have started with, and it was the game of the weekend, which, admittedly, only 4 games. Spurs 2, Liverpool 2. Just a lot of fun. Absolute mess of a game. But end to end, chaotic. Klopp somehow didn't get sent off for berating the ref. It's had everything you want from a Premier League fixture.
Yeah, he's going to the ref afterwards. You never played football. You can see for your decisions you never played football. It's just like he gets a really good, really nice rep from the media, but he's actually a dickhead on the sidelines.
He is a salty, salty old bastard.
Yeah,
sometimes the mask just slips. Yeah. With him.
Yeah, he says it with a smile on his face, or what looks like a smile on his face. He might just be growling, but I don't know. Liverpool, you take one piece out, and it feels like they just start to crumble. Like they were pretty fortunate to get a 2-2 draw in this game, and yet they were dominant.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on that, because it wasn't just one piece in this case. Like between the all the COVID protocols, not only were they missing Van Dijk, and we've seen over the past couple of seasons what a difference he makes to Liverpool, but they were also missing an entire starting midfield. They're Henderson, Thiago, and Fabinho were all ruled out through COVID protocols.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, no, you're right. At the same time, I mean, it doesn't feel like Spurs really play with midfield anyway. They just park the bus and counter. I don't know. Konate and Matip, they don't have the same security that Van Dijk gives you.
They looked all over the place. If Spurs had any sense about them, and this annoyed me to no end watching that game yesterday, they could have scored 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Ali should be. I don't care if Alisson got fingertips to that. Ali's got to score that chance to put him up 2-0. That was a huge miss. Even looking back at it, I'm like, oh my god, how do you miss that? Hey guys, Kane scored. Kane scored.
Yeah, his second goal of the season.
Yep.
Amazing.
Top class striker, 2 goals on the season.
He matches Fred's tally, the Fred versus Kane race.
He's finally caught up to him.
Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of Alisson, he had a great game, and then he just I don't know what to call what happened. He just loses his bearings completely. It feels like Alisson's been pretty, I don't want to say poor, let's say inconsistent for most of his spell at Liverpool. He had one great year, he had a great 18 months.
Yeah.
But if you look at his time, there are so many mistakes. So many mistakes. He had that meltdown against West Ham. He had a similar meltdown against Leicester City last season. Yeah, I don't know. I was quite surprised how good he was when he first joined, because he didn't have the reputation for being a top goalkeeper at Roma. I remember Szczesny was keeping him out.
Well, wait, we were the ones in the race with Liverpool to sign him, and that's why we got Kepa. So he was super highly rated in his before he left Roma.
I'm gonna be honest. If your options are Kepa and Alisson, it doesn't seem like he's that.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's just a bit unfair to Alisson, because he was already rated as one of the best goalkeepers before Liverpool signed him.
Yeah, I think when Szczesny went back, when Szczesny went to Juve, Roma, Alisson had one season as number 1 at Roma, and he had a good season then.
Yeah,
but I don't know. He makes a lot of mistakes.
I agree with you.
Keeper of his reputation, and you don't know what you're gonna get with Alisson. That's the way I feel.
I feel like when he comes out now, he maybe he's overconfident or something. But you saw the one with the Sun goal right under him. He completely mistimed. He didn't even mistime it. He just misjudges it.
Yeah.
And when he comes out of his net now, it does not feel assured or secure. He's having a bit more of these gaffes in his net. Whereas,
sorry, go on.
I was going to say, like you said, his first 18 months, he was rock solid at Liverpool, best keeper in the league. And then now he's just slowly getting these errors, more error prone in his game. And I've noticed it a lot in the last year too.
Yeah, even earlier in that game, he had an incident where he just, he calls for Trent to leave it, and then he just doesn't get a lot on it. If Kane had any speed about him, he might have just been able to chip it over Alisson, but, Anyway, it's just one to keep an eye on, because Liverpool could have come away from this game with 3 points, despite conceding a lot of chances, but, yeah. He did make some good saves. Maybe I'm being harsh, but
I think it's a fair assessment. But Spurs got to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Harry Kane, he should have been sent off, right?
Oh, 100%. Any other?
He's gone flying in, studs up into. Oh my god! It was into Robertson, yeah.
Yeah, Robertson.
And honestly, if Robertson is lucky that he managed to see it and get his foot off the ground, so he just got clipped and flipped instead of having his leg snapped into.
I think he's the dirtiest player in the league, my opinion. Harry Kane. There are so many incidents where he should have been sent off. I can't think of a player who, by default, is dirtier than Harry Kane.
Robertson.
What?
I'm gonna say Robertson.
Like Liverpool's Robertson?
Yeah, he's
Where
a dirty
does that
player.
come from?
He's a dirty player.
Yeah, well,
I
he's
think
aggressive.
that Robertson does go through players a fair bit, and he did get his red card.
And he did get his nice red
which
card too.
I think that was completely fair. It was a stupid red card to take.
It wasn't as bad as Kane's though.
No, I'm not
No,
saying.
I
I'm not
don't
saying
think
it's
it was
bad.
as bad as
I'm
Kane.
just saying Andy Robertson's a dirty player. He's a prick.
I think,
but
he's aggressive.
I would say I agree with Tony, where I'd say Kane is definitely dirtier. There was that entire bit like a season or so ago where every week when someone was jumping, Kane was cutting their legs out from under them.
Yeah.
And no ref was ever fucking calling it, even though that's so fucking dangerous.
It is so that you can land on your neck doing that because you just can't protect yourself when you're in there. And he just bends down and makes basically makes
and he backs into their legs.
Them. It's he's so dirty, and he's England captain, so he can get away with anything. But I can't think of a dirtier. There's so many games. I remember, last season especially, he just every week it felt like he was doing something dangerous. I don't know. I think he's trying to overcompensate for a lack of mobility by getting marginal gains by just hurting people. It's no one's holding him accountable, but he should have been sent off.
That's one thing I really noticed this game is how slow Kane is.
Yeah, he's really slow now.
He never he was playing his son was kind of playing more in the middle, and Kane would be out on the right. Mm-hmm. Every time Kane had that space, it was he just passed it right away. He did not even bother trying to run.
He used to be able to take players on. He was never the quickest guy, but he used to be able to beat a man.
Yeah, he had a burst. He couldn't his top speed wasn't great, but he could get away and get a shot off.
He was good over the first 5 yards, which is what he needed to get past a guy and shoot.
Yeah. But it's a good point for Spurs. They have 3 games in hand on the top 4 right now, and they're 6 points away. So if they can win those games, strong chance that they would be in the top 4. But
hey, imagine a Spurs versus Arsenal battle for top 4. That'd be fun for us to watch.
It's all on the cards right now. I'm hoping that their condensed schedule screws with them in the end, but we'll see.
Well, we just heard that they got their match forfeited in that whatever UEFA Conference League, so they don't have to deal with that anymore. So that's going to help them.
Yeah, 3-0 forfeit to Rennes.
Rennes.
Yeah.
I enjoy how they managed to keep sneaking into the podcast.
Yeah, but
we don't cover Ligue 1 at all, but Rennes just always manage to make it. Once every couple of weeks, they'll find a way to sneak in.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed when I heard the news. I wanted Spurs to continue embarrassing themselves in that competition, but to be honest, I feel like if they had played Rennes, they'd have lost that game anyway. That's
most likely, probably.
Yeah, they needed a win, and with Tottenham, I didn't see it happening. But
well then,
I mean, we'll hop from Liverpool to another title contender now. City beating the brakes off Newcastle 4-0 a few days on from scoring 7 against Leeds.
Oh boy.
The machine is alive and well. 8 wins in a row. Who's stopping them?
yeah,
Who's stopping them?
I don't know.
they did this last season. Honestly, it's playing City can be really depressing.
It's the same, like you say, it's the same thing, because there was a bit in January last season, like early January, where United went top of the table for a week, and then City were like, oh, we'll just reel off 10 wins in a row and just leave everyone in the dust. And it's happening again.
Yeah, I mean, we say that they're only 3 points ahead of Liverpool.
But Liverpool are about to lose Salah and Mane to AFCON.
Yeah, and Naby Keita as well.
Naby Keita, I'm going to say, matters slightly less.
Yeah, fair enough, but he gives them some squad depth. But Chelsea and Liverpool just need to hang in there, basically.
Well, we get to play City in January, so that might be a chance to either make it or break it.
Well, you need to win.
I mean, you will be starting Kepa in net for that game. Because Mendy is going to AFCON, isn't he?
We will live and
He's
die.
Senegalese, right?
Uh-oh.
So basically, about 50% of shots will be going in. Considering how hard the likes of De Bruyne and Cancelo shoot.
Tommy,
maybe more than that.
Kepa
what
has,
are you? No.
Kepa has been decent.
No. I'm not having that. Just because he has a few good cameos here and there, we know what Kepa is.
Tommy, don't worry. Tony and I have already started a support group on this podcast for teams that have had the absolute pants beaten off them by City. You are more than welcome to join. We will commiserate. We will cry together.
Why am I thinking that we're going to beat City? I think it's because we.
You are thinking you're going to beat City at the Etihad. Is that
you've gone from Chelsea are out of the title race to Chelsea are going to beat City in the span of about a minute.
And the only introduction that's changed anything is Kepa.
Well, our record against them as of recently
Tommy, what
has
have you
actually
been
been
putting
pretty
in your
decent.
coffee?
But no, to be fair, our record against them has been decent. I know we lost to them last time, but we beat them in the Champions League final. We're not going to. To be fair, I am scarred a bit by seeing Chelsea lose to City like 6-0 in front of you guys. So.
Oh, that was a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
truly, one of the worst days ever.
Sitting in a bar with a bunch of our football teammates, watching City absolutely destroy Chelsea. Tommy walks in, looks at the screen, sees it's 3-0, just sits and has his head down for the rest of the 90 minutes.
That was after we did like a futsal tournament, I believe, the day before. Or is this something like that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And we lost, right?
You lost the final on penalty.
Lost in the final.
Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Honestly, that's really disappointing. I completely forgot about Mendy playing with Senegal.
I forgot as well.
Jeez. City are only losing Mahrez. That's like... Yeah.
All right, they'll replace him with one of 3 other players.
Yeah. Wow.
What do you want? You want Jesus on the right? Do you want Sterling?
Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo. Take your pick.
It's funny.
What's that kid? Torres? They have Torres as well.
They might be selling Torres, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of Barca rumors on him. But what's funny is Mahrez came out and said, I love playing games once every 3 days. Because he's a rotational player. That means he just gets a chance to play once every third game. It was actually pretty funny because he doesn't play every game.
City are just not going to feel the sort of the fixture crunch at all. Because they can swap out pretty much every member of their lineup.
I think the only irreplaceable player in that team is Ederson. Stefan's decent, but it's a drop off.
Hey, we should probably give a shout out to João Cancelo, who
he's been their player of the season.
My God, what a goal!
Oh, that was a fantastic goal. Yeah.
It surprised me that was his. I think that was his first Premier League goal of the season.
It was. Yeah.
I thought he'd already scored, but I must just be thinking of his ridiculous number of assists.
Yeah, he's. I don't know what Joe Willock's doing for that goal, but yeah. It just, he's a fullback, and he seems to have more quality than a lot of attacking players. But yeah, he's been
as someone who also plays fullback. People like Cancelo and Trent and all these people are making it much more difficult for me to play football. People keep asking me to do things that I am not capable of doing.
You don't have that whip?
No, like you've seen me try to take a man on 1v1. There's a reason I'm a pass first player.
You can be a Tomiyasu. Be a Tomiyasu type fullback. 1-2 touch. There's nothing wrong with that.
Tomiyasu's fucking tall.
You can, okay.
I don't defend like that.
You want to be Cedric?
Oh God. Actually, yeah. Lovely little spot on the bench. Nice and easy. Kick my feet up. Occasionally come on and see everything go to shit around me.
He came on and he just looked like, yeah.
Zare, start cutting inside and making runs through the middle now with when you have the ball, and add that layer to your game. Forget just staying on the outside and whipping balls in.
I'd love to see Ahmed's reaction when that happens.
Anyway. Tommy, you forget that the seasons that we played Boca Juniors together, half of your goals were coming from crosses from the outside. And if I started doing that, you're not scoring goals anymore, my friend.
I haven't had that same service since, so I miss it.
Good to know that there's at least something you miss about me. Moving on, Leeds United came off that 7-0 loss to City and then got absolutely battered 4-1 by Arsenal. Tony, you were singing at the top. Care for another round?
No, I think that's enough.
No, it's upsetting.
But
I'm honestly I'm still blown away that you were both in choirs. How did I not know this?
This was
for me. It was for it's like one of those church choirs when you're a kid. I mean, I remember during Christmas time you'd sing a lot of the Christmas tunes, and I remember we even went door to door at some place and we sang outside. Yeah, I remember that as well. Yeah.
I was definitely.
I want you to get to Toronto in front of my condo building and just serenade me.
Let me get the band back together and we'll all show up.
Yeah. I was in a church choir as well, but I was also in a school choir. So yeah, as I got.
Oh my God, Tony was double dipping in choirs. This is amazing.
Yeah, and as puberty hit and my voice got deeper and deeper, I moved from treble to alto to tenor, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Started playing piano instead. So
you can play the piano?
Oh, that's pretty impressive as well.
I could. I'm not as.
Where's
good.
all this musical talent coming from? Why haven't we taken advantage of this before?
Why
didn't you compose our opening music?
I do come.
You sent me off online to go hunt down royalty free music and make something out of it. When we could have just had you compose it.
I haven't composed anything in years.
But you have composed something before. It's like riding a bike. You never forget.
I don't think so. It doesn't feel
there's
like
potential there.
Yeah, I have a keyboard in my room.
Look, we get you to compose. You and Tommy can sing.
We can create the new Premier League theme.
No, fuck the Premier League theme. I want a new podcast theme out of you two.
Okay. We'll.
It sounds like a good idea, actually.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm retired, okay? I'm several years retired.
I'm bringing you back out of retirement.
Hey, if Arsenal keep winning, I'm sure Tony's going to change his tune.
Yeah. Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I've been calling for a while for the Aubameyang chapter to be over. And do you guys remember when Arteta first came in and he used to play Aubameyang on the left and Lacazette up top?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. It's always felt to me like that's his preferred kind of model, having like your goal scorers play on the outside. And he moved away from that for whatever reason, probably because Aubameyang just, I don't know, wasn't performing and put him up top instead. But now that we've had this whole fiasco and Aubameyang's been dropped, it's Martinelli's coming and he's doing Aubameyang things. But honestly, to a greater degree than Aubameyang was. He has technical security in the final third. We can go up to him. He makes brilliant runs in behind, and his finishing, like
I was gonna say, like, the quality of his finishing when you compare it to what Aubameyang's been putting out there this season, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Like
even the first goal, just the reactions, opens up his body instantly and places it into the top corner, and then the chip as well. It's refreshing. When you play
on that first goal, what is Forshot doing? Like, just no awareness.
Yeah.
Gets the ball at the edge of the box instead of like clearing. You know, it's just really, really poor. By all means, wonderful finish from Martinelli and all that, but Jesus Christ, that's poor from Forshaw.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Lacazette, staying switched on and putting him under pressure. But honestly, we have what? Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Saka to choose from in that front four. It's pretty decent. I mean, Smith Rowe comes on minutes after coming on. He's latching onto a through ball from Odegaard, who was brilliant in this game. He's been really, really good in the past 3 weeks, other than that stupid penalty he gave away. But I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this run.
You guys won. Was it 4-1 to this game? 4-1, I believe, right?
Yeah,
4-1.
4-1. Yeah.
Honestly, I think the game midweek against West Ham was way more impressive because you guys stifled West Ham completely. Complete dominance in that game.
Yeah, we did. We missed a few chances in that game, but eventually we put West Ham away. I kind of felt like the red card was a bit harsh.
The red card kind of... the issue with that red card was that he was already on a yellow.
Yeah.
It was Soufal who got sent off, right?
Yeah.
I did. I thought initially it was a straight red. It was when I watched it back.
It's definitely not a straight red,
Yeah.
but you can understand a yellow being given because it does take away a goal scoring chance. But at the same time, it also felt harsh for Soufal to get sent off for that.
He misses.
I don't know. It was a weird one where it's like I can understand the red, but I would prefer not seeing it given.
I mean, I don't think Harry Kane gets sent. I don't even think he gets a foul for that. Just saying.
Harry Kane plays in his own. Like Tony says. Tony always says.
No, but
do we get the tinfoil hat out again?
Feel free. I mean, I'm still coming for the refs.
In fairness, on the Kane stuff, I'll wear the hat with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a petition. Your name can be the first one up there. But on a serious
I'm just saying,
note,
you won't be able to come up with a catchy name for me though. It's hard to alliterate stuff with the letter U.
Euphoria, Utopia.
Euphoria starts with an E.
Yeah, but isn't it a pronunciation? Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. But Arteta's had a really good week. He needed this week. He needed this response after Arsenal's shambolic performance against Everton and Man United. And we'll see where we go from here. But Leeds United, they're having a tough season. I don't know.
They're in a bit of trouble right now.
Yeah, they're 5 points from safety, but Burnley have 3 games in hand on them. So things can. Watford have 2 games in hand on them. They're only 3 points behind.
Even Norwich have a game in hand on them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how much that matters in Norwich's case. But I just...
Look, while we're stating facts, we're stating facts.
Yeah, you were really hard on Bielsa while watching this game.
Yeah,
and I just,
look, my entire issue with... I think Bielsa is a very good manager. Obviously, a lot of these managers look up to him.
Didn't seem like
my
it.
issue with him... No, my issue with him is how he's gone about managing Leeds this season. Because, yeah, they have a shit ton of injuries. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sometimes that happens with his super intense playstyle that he demands from his players. But when you have the drop-down in quality of player... He doesn't adjust his tactics for that. Like, when you look at the when we were talking over the weekend, we were talking about that Forshaw error, where you pointed out that, he's probably been instructed to carry the ball out instead of just clearing it. But Forshaw is not Rafinha. He's not Dallas. He's not an experienced player. He's just this kid. Simplify your instructions to the players you have if you have this many injuries. Why aren't you simplifying your instructions down for the players you have? I'm not saying it would have changed the game against Arsenal or even City, but it's just it really annoys me that he's not adjusting for his players a little bit. And, you know, you're going to give me the whole, but the magic of Bielsa is that he doesn't change for anyone. He sticks to his principles, and that's why people love him. And, yeah, that's fair. I'm not asking Leeds fans to not love him. He's the best thing to happen to their club since they got relegated. But it's just... I'm sorry, I don't like that he doesn't, especially when he's in the middle of an injury crisis this big. Him not adjusting his instructions for the players he has really bugs me. Because it's just, I don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it as a management style.
First of all, Forshaw he's older than most of us on this pod.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 30
Oh my god.
He's 30 years old.
So then you know what he is.
No,
Stop asking him to be
what are you
he
asking?
isn't.
What are you asking? What do you want him to do? This is what I don't get. Like, when it's working, everyone's like, the manager's a genius. When it's not working, the manager, Adam Forshaw clears that ball. And then what? Another attack for Arsenal? When you're a coach, the reason that those Leeds United players are very confident to execute Bielsa's game plan is because he's confident in his game plan. And this system that he plays has taken them from the championship, from the championship to the Premier League in 2-3 years. Sometimes the problem is just the players. I don't think the
system works as effectively when they have as many injuries as they do.
Okay, so what's the alternative?
I'm not saying throw the entire system out the window. I'm just saying adjust. Adjust a little.
I'm telling
change it up a little bit.
Bielsa is not telling Adam Forshaw to lose the ball on the edge of the box. He's not telling him to do that. He's telling him to try and maintain possession. Forshaw should be trying to play that pass to someone. Either lay it back to he had support. So either lay that pass back to someone or play it into a channel. That has nothing to do with Bielsa. That's Forshaw. And unfortunately, those are the players he has available to him, right? I don't think you can go after the manager for not changing his style. Pep Guardiola doesn't change his style forever, and anyone. Neither does Klopp.
Pep also has unlimited resources and can plug and play players from his bench to maintain that style.
No.
Guys,
everyone likes using that excuse.
Let me interject here, Tony, for a second. Is when you have a club culture of saying a certain play style, right? Don't you want your entire club to, eat into it, bite into it, and sort of build on that? So it doesn't matter the caliber of player.
Yeah.
If your play style is play from the back, right, or that sort of build from the back sort of idea, you don't have your first team in. You want your second team, your other guys to do the same thing because you want them to be just as good at it as the first teamers. So I would say, why change it?
They're very clearly not. So why not adjust?
What does adjust mean?
That's my thing.
What does adjust mean, though? Do what?
You don't, maybe you don't go hell for leather at all points. Maybe you try to conserve a little bit because your squad is absolutely dead.
That's what got them here. Why would you
And
abandon
that's what's
all
killing
principle?
them right now.
It's not what's killing them. Injuries is what's killing them.
I would say they have been wrecked with injuries
Part of the
this
reason
year.
they have so many injuries is because
Okay,
they run
okay.
themselves into the
Why did Jurgen Klopp not change his tactics against Tottenham? Like, let's save the same energy. What?
It should have cost them.
It should have cost two. No.
It should have cost Liverpool. Look at all the chances that Spurs missed.
That's the players. It's not the system. It's the players. Sometimes it's just the players. Like, Leeds United their squad is not good. Last season, they overachieved a lot. Like, they're a championship level team. Other than, how many players would anyone take from Leeds? Maybe two? Maybe maximum three. Like Bamford, Rafinha, and Calvin Phillips. That's it. Their team is crap. Like, they have shit players that are overachieving because they have a coach that inspires them. It's as simple as that. And Leeds are 16th right now. Yeah, I would say that's their level.
If we want to shit on Leeds, you can shit on their transfer policy.
I don't want to shit on Leeds.
I know, but they're paying
Leeds.
what for Dan James? What do they pay? 30 mil? Is that correct?
You know what that is?
25 rising to 30.
That is not a defense.
And that is like, that's another thing. Because Bielsa went after James when James was at Swansea, and for some reason I don't understand why he's clung on to the idea of Dan James, because Dan James runs a lot.
I say question there.
I can't defend that. I can't defend that.
That's not good.
Yeah, I can't defend that. I'm not going to. Specifically for playing styles, I think every coach has a system they play, or every decent coach has a system they play, and they stick to it. Those are their principles. You live by it. You breathe it. You study it. You sleep it. You eat it. Like, it's what they do. So I don't know. Like, so many managers.
For me, it's just a little bit more adjustment. Like, it's fine. We clearly disagree on this, and that's, whatever. But it's just, for me personally, like, watching them and seeing them with these, like, you see, their squad's not like some ridiculous, like, City level thing to start with, and then you add in all the injuries, and they're playing with fucking a guy who I don't know if he's 30 or 18 apparently. He's actually 30, Forshaw?
Yeah,
I have to Google this.
He's older than me, Adam Forshaw. He's
oh
he's
my
30.
God.
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh, he has no excuse for that mistake then.
Yeah, it's...
That mistake, I put it down to inexperience or something, not being adjusted to, like, the speed of the league. No, you got no excuse. But I've lost my point. But I feel like I was making the same point I was making at the start. So...
Well, it's a good sort of lead into a discussion about the top managers in the Premier League, isn't it?
I would say so.
Yeah.
After Uzair and I clashed on this, I don't know why we were so worked up. Well, I don't know. I really like Bielsa. That's probably why. I really like Bielsa.
The thing is, I like Bielsa as well. And when his style works, it's one of the most fun things to watch in football. But I don't know, that the adjustment thing just really got on my nerves on Saturday for some reason. Sunday.
Whenever
Saturday. This game was.
All I'm saying is Pep Guardiola was ridiculed for the same thing, as was Jurgen Klopp, and they stuck to their principles no matter what, and they got their rewards eventually. And Bielsa's gotten his rewards as well. Leeds are overachieving. He's not under any pressure for these performances, honestly. Like, he will go down there as a club icon for what he has done. He's given them...
Of course, he's by far the best manager they've had in the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah, you could argue definitely longer than 30, but yeah.
I was just trying to remember, like, how long ago was it that they were in the Champions League?
Yeah, that's about 20 years.
20 years,
yeah.
20 years.
Early 2000s, I think, right? Something like that.
Yeah, they're about.
So these top managers in the league, what we've basically done is we've each of us ranked our own top 10, and then we kind of just averaged out their scores to see where people would land. Tony and Tommy are not aware of what anyone has picked, and as usual, I get to do the admin.
You are the most trustworthy member of the pod.
That's
Without a
poor reflection of the pod.
This is what we tell Azir, just give him
just
extra
to keep
work.
me doing stuff.
Yeah, he's the best journalist on the pod. He's the best admin. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a superstar of the podcast. So.
Yeah. Talk me up so I keep editing these things.
We love you, Azir.
Yeah.
That's what they all say. At number 10, we have Rafa Benitez. So, Benitez only made one list,
Jesus.
and that was Tony's.
Really?
To be fair, Tony. To be fair, he was on my initial list before I forgot about Ralph. Or Ralph.
You're just not saying his last name, are you?
No, I'm
You're
not.
just refusing. What's his last name, Tommy?
I'm not gonna say it anymore.
What?
But
Say his name.
Tony. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're.
Say his
you're
name,
exactly
Tommy.
right. Rafa Benitez is deserving of a top 10. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you who. Tony, you'll love this. I'll tell you who Tommy put above him was Steven Gerrard.
Yeah,
so,
boys.
You have got to be kidding me. He's done.
Promising up and coming manager. You said we agreed in the moment who is top 10 in the moment. We're not looking at
I don't understand.
Past, right?
I don't. Oh, you mean in the? Well, we did say that history is going to play a part.
A part, yeah, but for me, it's not playing a big part.
So you're basing what? You're either basing this off of Steven Gerrard's time
Promising
at
future.
Rangers,
and his promising future. Yes, that's what I am.
Future isn't exactly present, is it?
No, but that's what I'm basing my pick on.
How does this make sense? You just said you're basing it off of present, and now you're telling me you're basing this off of Steven Gerrard's future
and future. Yes.
I knew that would work you up, Tony.
I don't get it.
He's a manager. He's a manager that I think, clubs will want, now and in the future.
Which clubs are you referring to?
Potentially a bigger club might come for Steven Gerrard,
depending on how he.
Depending on how he does at Aston
No,
Villa,
you said okay. Put a name on it.
Okay, Liverpool easily.
What
down the line? Yeah. When Klopp's gone, I can see him going
no
for
chance.
Depending on how Gerrard does.
No
if he
chance.
If he comes to Villa and they play, whatever style they play, I'm just saying. That's why he's my number 10. That's why he's my number 10, Tony.
I mean,
the fact that you had to say Liverpool.
Go on, please do.
The fact you had to say Liverpool, you're just basing that off of his history as a Liverpool legend. It's not off his footballing, because you don't go from Jurgen Klopp to Steven Gerrard.
We had Frank Lampard at Chelsea, so it's entirely possible that Gerrard's going to go there just based on that.
They needed a patsy, and they hired Frank Lampard. That was it. They just needed a fall guy because they didn't have a transfer window, and they just wanted someone that would be nice enough to take no one else wanted the Chelsea job at that time. They needed a stopgap. They hired Lampard. It wasn't because of Lampard's future. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
So,
what do you mean? Leading Derby County to repeated playoff failure doesn't mean you have a bright future.
Yeah,
I see Gerrard having a bright future as a manager. He's already shown the signs.
So based on Tommy's previous predictions, Gerrard's fucked. And we'll move on to our overall number 9, and that is Graham Potter.
Oh, he's lower than I thought. Wow.
I don't think Graham Potter has achieved enough to be higher on the list. He is a coach that I think has a bright future. I've seen enough. I just don't think he's done enough yet, personally.
Honestly, I think 9th is a pretty fair final spot for him, just based on what he's done with Brighton so far. And I do agree that I had him ranked 8th in mine, so I don't feel too bad about that.
I probably had him ranked the lowest, funny enough, even though I'm a big fan.
Yeah, he was a late omission from Tony's list.
Tony, this is who you forgot?
Omission?
No, this is not who he forgot. This is who got bumped off his list.
Oh,
when he remembered the guy he forgot.
Okay. Gotcha.
At number 8, we have Brendan Rodgers.
That's the
yeah,
guy I
fair.
forgot.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a fair spot for Rodgers.
Yeah. Again, like, we all had Rodgers rated in the 7 to 9 range, so yeah, generally in agreement on his spot. Yeah, he's done. The wheels are coming off slightly, but he's done well at Leicester. And
What did I have him as?
you had him as 7th.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. He should have achieved more, I think. To be honest, he would have been ranked higher.
If he hadn't let those top 4 spots slip 2 years in a row, like
Yeah.
I had him 9th in mine, and he was 8th in Tommy's, and he would have been higher if he hadn't let those top 4 spots.
Yeah.
The thing with Rodgers is, let's say he were to leave Leicester, I can see him getting a job at, say, maybe Everton, or maybe even
That's a
say
step
Spurs.
down.
That's
Maybe
a
even
step down.
okay. You know what? That's a step down. So someone like Spurs. Let's say Conte's gone. I can see him getting a job there. So he's a manager that I can still see maybe top clubs considering.
Yeah, I know. I agree. He's a coach that, I don't know, he just always falls short. That's the problem with him. But yeah, he's had opportunities. His his coaching ability has given him the chances to achieve more, but he doesn't seem to have the ability to just close in on those, or to capitalize on those situations. So yeah, but a really good manager. I love the way his teams play. And yeah, we'll see if he can turn this Leicester situation around.
Yeah. At number 7, we have David Moyes.
David Moyes. Yeah.
So I will point out that Tommy had Moyes in his top 5.
Yep, definitely. He's number 5, I believe.
Boy. Oh boy.
Hey, you know what? I think the guy deserves some respect. He's got his team, fighting for a top 4 spot right now. He's turned West Ham around. If we're going to talk about
Tommy,
past,
but what about being an exciting manager for the future?
Tommy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many trophies do you think David Moyes has won in his career?
Trophies.
Are we counting
trophies,
community
trophies.
shields?
No, we are not counting shields. How many cups do you think he has won? How about that?
I don't think he's won that much, to be honest.
Put a number on it. How
I'm
about
going
that?
to say 1.
1.
Yeah.
You would be right. He won the Football League Second Division.
I knew it.
With
That's a big
Preston
trophy.
North End.
That's a big trophy.
I'm sorry. I really like David Moyes, but
Why are we calling him David Moyes?
his time at Sociedad.
Of course.
Yeah. He's basically, he's an exotic manager now. But look, I'm sorry, no. I don't see it. He's doing really well right now, but he hasn't achieved anything either. I don't see it. But
I'll put him as 7th in mine, because we did say like a lot of it was going to be very current based, and I think he's done a very good job at West Ham, especially in terms of rehabilitating his reputation.
Fair enough.
His time at Man United means I refuse to put him any higher.
Yep, no top club.
And
will touch
I
David
honestly don't think he would make it any higher on my list either.
Yeah.
I omitted that from history, so I didn't consider that in his repertoire. But
all right, just for that, Tommy, you get to say the name of our number 6 manager. It is Ralph. Go on, Tommy.
Hey, let me just look up his name here. Ralph Ragnick, eh? Oh, that's how you say it.
Never
Ralph
changed.
Ragnarok, as Tommy calls him.
Yeah, never changed, Tommy. Just never changed. Yeah.
He's never.
So-
wait, this is our number 5 or 6 right now.
6.
6, okay.
So Rangnick's ranking was all over the place. Tommy had him ranked 9th because he doesn't know how to spell it, and I think he panicked, so I just kept pushing him off. Actually, Tony and I were quite close together in our rankings. I had him ranked 5th. Tony had him ranked 4th.
Yeah, I look for me, this is a guy who has had a big influence on German football and just football in general. The legacy a manager leaves in the game has to count for something for me. And this is a guy that has inspired the likes of Thomas Tuchel, Jurgen Klopp, many other managers. And
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's exactly the reason I had him that high up my rankings as well. The only thing that held me back from putting him further up was that he'd been out of management for a little bit. He'd been more, director of football and that sort of like more behind the scenes kind of work at the last couple of clubs. So I was just like reserving a bit of judgment on that, but yeah.
I also have a lot of respect for managers who are very influential but don't actually spend a lot of times at top clubs, because it shows you don't need to be at Barcelona or Man United or Real Madrid, or well, he's at Man United, but at Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, any of these top clubs to be considered a top coach, right? Like, I have to put into account or factor in the job they're doing with the team that they have. And Ragnick's done a lot with very little in his career. And I think he's
made Champions League semi-finals with Schalke, I believe.
Yep, yes he did. And I just think Man United they're really lucky to have picked him up. So I think, was that with Draxler, like that whole Draxler and
Neuer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's also he's developed a lot of really good players in his time as well. So yeah, that's why I had him. You said I had him fourth? Yeah.
You did.
That makes sense in my head, yeah.
At number 5, we have Marcelo Bielsa. And I would like to point out, Tony, for all the shit I was talking about him, he was still ranked 6th on my list, same as Tommy.
That's low, but okay.
You had him at 3rd.
Yes.
You had him at 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. Very similar argument to what I said about Ragnick. He's a guy who has inspired a lot of great managers, and his temperament really has counted against him when he's considered for top clubs. I think the biggest club he joined was it Inter, and he was only there for like a week or something. And
he managed Inter? Really?
This sounds like a very Bielsa thing, but I had no idea he was ever at Inter.
Let me back this.
I know he did like Lazio for like a brief. Maybe you mean Lazio.
Was it Lazio? He was only there for a week.
I think you mean Lazio, yeah.
Yes, I can see
Lazio,
on his CV
Lazio.
2016, Lille 2017.
Wait, so he was there for a week? That's
He was there for 2 days.
2 days. Oh my gosh. What was the issue then?
He was sued for breach of contract. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, he quit because they didn't give him the players he wanted.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd promised him that he'd be recruit certain players to get him in the job, and they explained later that the club had been unable to recruit the players he wanted by debt. So
it was 8th of July. How quickly was he expecting these players?
I don't know. He said by the deadline he had given to the club. Why even join? Oh my god, Bielsa. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
he's a bit of a character. There's no doubt. And that kind of craziness has kind of put off a lot of teams from hiring him. But you
can't argue with his influence in the game.
Yeah, 100%. He had a great spell at Bilbao. I think they made the Europa League final. They knocked out Man United, if I'm not mistaken. I think that might have been the year that Diego Forlan was on a crazy run of form. I'm not sure.
That could describe several years.
He
Forlan had this knack of just finding a few months and going on a ridiculous run of form.
Yeah, I can't remember now. That might have been the Fulham year, but he definitely made the Europa League final with Bilbao. He is loved by Chileans, Chilean football fans as well, for the influence he had on the national team. Kind of brought through this whole new style of play that they had, where they pressed really aggressively, and ended up winning them 2 back-to-back Copa Americas. Yeah, he's another one who didn't have any real time at any top clubs, and yet you hear any manager speak about him, and they have nothing but great things to say in terms of his legacy. So
He also
Can see why I'm not a football manager.
he also didn't have much of a playing career, if I recall.
no, I don't think so. I don't remember.
Like very minimal, I think. And like he probably didn't even leave Chile
113 total appearances in his career. Nothing outside of Argentina.
or Argentina. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
great manager.
Moving on to our top
even
four.
though Uzair hates him.
Yeah, I hate him so much. I rated him only 6th.
No,
Same
great.
as Tommy. I'd like to point out.
Yeah,
Tommy
but
hates him
that's-
just as much as I do.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think 6 is a pretty high rating, but what are we, top 5 now?
We're top 4
Top
now.
four?
Bielsa
Let's
was
go.
5th.
Let's go.
And I mean, everyone knows the 4 managers that are left. We're going to start off with Thomas Tuchel. Again, like fairly similar rankings across the board for us. Tommy and I both had him 4th. Tony had him 6th. Just basically reverse our Bielsa rankings.
Right.
As Tuchel.
Right.
I mean, current Champions League holder.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that, really. I think
Made the final of the season before.
did he? Oh, with PSG.
Yeah, with PSG.
PSG, right.
No, I'm not counting that. When I think of Tuchel, I don't think of his time at PSG, so I don't think he had much of an influence on that team.
I don't think anyone thinks of anyone's time at PSG.
Yeah,
Every manager that comes out from that job seems to be very happy to leave.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
the thing I put with my, I'm gonna say top 4 is they're like the managers that any club right now would want to hire if they're available, like 100%. And Tuchel's one of those guys.
Someone
maybe
should have
not.
told United that about one of these 3 at least left.
Yeah. Maybe not as high as Pep, but like we've seen him. He's very tactical. He's involved with all things of the club. And you know what? He went from Mainz. He studied under, you said under Ragnick, also under Ralph, I believe.
Oh, you're struggling so
I
much
struggled.
with
That
the
was
name.
so
Bless your
tough.
soul. He's afraid.
And also under Klopp as well, right? So he's learned from some of the best managers.
yeah.
And it's, PSG, thank you for letting him go because he's done a great job at Chelsea so far. I know he's also one of those who has a history of kind of falling out with the upper management in terms of player signings and that sort of thing. So I'm waiting for the inevitable clash he has with Marina and all the Chelsea higher-ups. But
I mean, if you love clashes with the board, you're going to love number 3 because it's Antonio Conte.
Yeah, he is spicy, isn't he?
The poster boy for clashing with the board.
Yeah. Honestly, he would be the one stain on Antonio Conte's resume is his inability to perform in Europe. I don't know what it is, but when you look at his legacy in terms of winning
his
league,
domestic record is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
Juve, Inter, Chelsea.
yeah, he's a man who just he wins typically. I mean, he's not going to this time around, but yeah.
Wait, where did you guys have
fate.
him ranked?
Why would you tempt fate like that?
You know what? He's not going to do it. I don't give it. There's no way.
Do you think Antonio Conte, will you state for the record that Antonio Conte will not bring a trophy to Spurs?
Oh no, I meant like the Premier League.
No.
no
I don't think anyone thinks Spurs are winning the Prem.
Yeah.
But do you think Conte will bring a trophy to Spurs?
It could happen. They could win.
Conference.
I don't
Oh, I guess they can't win that conference league anymore. They're out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I had him as number 2, I believe, right?
Oh Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
Yeah. Okay. That's
I had him as number 3.
Tony.
Tony had him as number 5.
number 5. Tony, that low, Tony, for Conte?
Well, we just said Bielsa and Rangnick were 3rd and 4th. I'm not putting Conte above the big 2. I don't know how you put Conte ahead of any of the big 2. Based on
Okay.
what? Based on his time with
mean,
Chelsea? Is that it?
Based
That's
on his
100%
time.
it. So we don't need to pretend otherwise.
Yeah,
we don't need to
he
pretend
was.
this is anything but biased.
He was definitely one of my favorite managers. But you just mentioned that he's a serial winner in the league, going
So
from, let's
are
say,
the other
Juve,
two.
Inter here. Yeah, but so
yeah,
if you
I'm gonna be honest, Tommy. I don't know how you've ranked him above Klopp.
because if I want to hire a manager to win, Pep and Conte are going to be my first two.
No, mate.
No, that's
Yeah.
important. This is
I
a
mean,
guy
like,
that brought Liverpool.
I'll lay out our 1 and 2 because it's fairly obvious. Number 2, we have Jurgen Klopp. Tony and I both had him second. Tommy somehow ranked him under Conte. Definitely not
Because-
biased. And number 1, all three of us ranked Pep.
Let me get this straight,
And-
Tommy.
Yeah, hit me.
He wins the league twice with Dortmund, despite the fact that Bayern are the German superpower. He takes the title. He's the only one who's taken the title from them in the past, 10 years? And then he wins the Liverpool their first league title in 30 years. And you're thinking this is not a guy that you hired to win things. What am I missing?
That's why he's my number 3, top 3.
What?
What do you want me to put him, number 1?
No, but your argument was that
Yeah,
Conte's
my
higher
argument-
because Conte wins.
I put Conte higher because if I want to hire a manager to win, I'm going to prefer that I want Conte. That's my preference, right? It's my who I'd want to hire first. I take Conte over.
Okay, so what about his European exploits? Why is he so shit in Europe?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Okay. But definitely not biased. Yeah.
It's definitely. There's no Chelsea bias. There never has
So
been.
you
with
wait. So
Tommy.
Tony, hold on. You're telling me there's a big drop between Klopp and Conte. It's the big drop in manager.
I
That's what
actually
you're saying.
think there is. I think there's
See,
a huge
I completely
drop.
disagree with that. I don't think there's a huge
He
drop.
doesn't make the knockout stages in Europe. I'm sorry. Listen, this is a guy who's look. I don't want to bash Conte because he is. I didn't have him in my top 3. This is a guy who spends a lot of money to win a league or a cup, but can't perform in Europe. Tactically,
Okay.
we're talking about tactical flexibility. This guy is tactically inflex. Like, there is no flexibility with Conte. He has one system. It works. He buys players. That's why I'm not worried that he will win the league with Tottenham because he won't get the players he wants. That's the honest truth. He doesn't leave legacies anywhere he goes. He just doesn't. Like, I'm sorry. Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. It's like 199 in terms of points. And then Antonio Conte is somewhere like 70 from me. I'm sorry. Like, there is a huge...
I think we're finding out that what Bielsa is to me, Conte is to Tony.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I just think
true.
when you spend some 100 million on players, you should, make the last 16 in the Champions League. That's my opinion. It might be controversial. I don't see how it could be, but I just don't know how you can rate Conte over Klopp. It's not justifiable. I don't think it is.
If we're looking at just league performances, then I don't want to, but you could
did,
argue that I just did. You're right.
Jesus Christ.
Klopp, you said he won one title with Liverpool. How long has he been there?
3 seasons?
No, way more than that.
He's been there way more
He's
than
got to be
that.
5 or 6 now at this point.
He's definitely not been there for 6 seasons.
Okay,
And if
let's
it's
say
5
5.
seasons, then he's in his 5th season.
Okay. In that time, how many titles has
How many titles did
how many
Antonio
league-
Conte
How many
win?
league titles has Conte won in that time?
I don't
Has it
know.
been-
Maybe
has it been one?
Maybe one.
Is it just the Inter one, right? Or was the
He's
Chelsea
he
one
won with
also within
Chelsea.
5
No.
years?
No,
Chelsea
Klopp wasn't
within
here.
5 years.
Klopp wasn't here when Conte was here, so it can't be.
Klopp wasn't here when Conte was here?
No. Was he?
Are we sure about that, Tony?
When was Conte at Chelsea? Fine, let's go with that. I don't know.
2017, I want to say he left.
So he won it in 2016. And when did Jurgen Klopp join Liverpool?
Jurgen Klopp joined Liverpool in 2015.
Okay, so they overlap for one season. Oh, he's won 2 league titles. All right. Fantastic. 2 league titles. Klopp has won the Premier League and the Champions League. But,
No, I think you're selling Conte short. For me, Pep is definitely our number one, and I don't think there's going to be any arguments there in terms of if you want to hire the best manager in the world and you have availability, you're taking Pep. But for me, Klopp and Conte can be interchangeable.
I'll be honest. If I was looking at just if I was looking at actual achievements based on squads, Jurgen Klopp would be number one for me. But I just think Pep kind of had a strong influence on playing styles for a few years, and when it came to influence, that kind of tipped it for me with Pep. But I just think with Conte, I don't know. I don't think you can discount the fact that he's quite hopeless in Europe.
This actually surprises me, Tony, because I remember all the Klopp the flop. Messages from you, and now you're raving about the guy so much. I'm actually shocked
because Klopp the flop was back in 2015, and it's been 6 years. I'm allowed to change my mind. I think my issue with Klopp actually was that I felt like his playing style was very, very hard on players. He ruined Marco Reus, in my opinion, when he played a few games I think he shouldn't have played. But just looking in general, he's always been the underdog. And he somehow managed to win so much despite being the underdog. So, I don't know. Look, is Antonio Conte a great manager? Absolutely. Is there a huge drop-off between Antonio Conte and Jurgen Klopp? Yes. I don't know how you discount Europe. You can't look at only league titles. Like,
my biggest question is, how in a weekend with 4 games are we recording our longest podcast?
Wow, it's already 1:19. Dang.
All right, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm cutting at this point. I'm loving the chat, but I'm gonna have to cut you guys off. We're gonna have to come back to this Jurgen Klopp, Antonio Conte thing some other time, because clearly there's still meat left on the bone. All that. I guess, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 442 and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. We're there. All that's left to say is, and please stop fighting, boys. Thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Cheers, guys. Always a pleasure.
And thank you for joining me, Tony.
Always a pleasure, boys. I've enjoyed the chat, even if I'm a little.
I long to hear your singing voice again very, very soon. We'll see you all next week. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
And I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it, la 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 like it, la 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 like, here we go. Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe.